I am here with Sama, Director General of the World Nuclear Association.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Now, you have worked in energy for about 3 decades. Is that correct?
My gosh, really that long? I graduated in
Yes.
2000, so 20 some years, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so, in this time, I'm sure you've seen the discussion from nuclear power go from this is great to this is terrible, and now maybe we need this. Do you think there has been a shift in public perception of nuclear throughout your career based on what you can observe?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. So when I first started, everybody thought that I was crazy. Why would I want to pursue a career in nuclear energy? I mean, clearly that was an industry that was dead or dying. And then, of course, we saw this first renaissance. I don't love the name, but okay. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So we saw this first renaissance in the early 2000s, which is shortly after I graduated. But then, of course, the economic crisis came down, Fukushima came down,
Yeah.
and now we are in this new phase of nuclear energy. But I think that this is a little bit different because well, there are many dimensions here. So it is decarbonization, fine. We've done this for decades. We haven't done anything. So finally, we are starting to take this seriously. Number two, energy security, energy independence, which is something that maybe my parents remember from the 60s and the 70s, but the rest of us kind of have forgotten. And then there is this third dimension that I think is very important, and nobody talks about it, or not as often as I would like to hear, which is the issue of equity. And this is the part of, okay, fine, we in Western countries, developed countries, we need to decarbonize. But there is many millions of people in the world that need to energize. I'm
Absolutely.
talking Africa, I'm talking South America, Southeast Asia. So that third dimension, I think, is very important. And that is one of those three things together make nuclear really game-changing. I mean, what else do you know that can provide 24/7, carbon-free, clean, reliable energy day in and day out for anybody, everybody, everywhere in the world? So to me, that's absolutely changing the equation.
Absolutely, yeah, I know. I love to hear conversations about energy poverty because, as you said, it really is not spoken about enough.
Yeah, it's not as mean. I mean, again, as you said, in developed countries, we focus on the carbonization, which is very important, but it's not the only thing. Yeah.
Great. Now, as of 2019, around 2/3 of Americans believe that climate change is seriously affecting their communities. But obviously, there still is this stigma against the solution we have here. Now, can you tell me, as redundant it might seem to you, why is nuclear necessary to stop climate change?
Why? Oh my gosh. Well, we have for a few decades now, we have started to think about climate change, and many governments have what I call climate policies, which are nothing more than a laundry list of wishes and desires and things. But there is no actual energy policy. There is no actual pragmatic deliverables that are going to take us where we need to go.
Absolutely.
So that is a problem, and also the problem is that many people, they truly think that we are on course. When you hear, oh, there is all this wind and solar, there is renewables, and then hydrogen is going to come and solve all the problems of the world, apparently. So there are people out there that they truly think that we are making progress, but we aren't. So we have in front of us a challenge that is massive, that is incredibly urgent, and there are very few energy sources that can scale the amount of energy that we need at the speed that is needed, such as nuclear energy. If you look at historically, the biggest decarbonization efforts, the fastest decarbonization efforts that we have seen have been with nuclear energy in France, in Sweden, in the UAE, in Spain, in the US. And this is just delivering nuclear energy as fast as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know a lot of people in the nuclear industry are those visionaries that a lot of the renewables you see in those spaces, but they're also incredibly realistic about.
Exactly. We need to be realistic. I mean, this is basically the work that we are trying to do right now, because I mean, there is a lot of promise. There is now again a recognition and realization by the policymakers, by the large energy users, by the finance community, and obviously by the public, the media, that nuclear needs to be part of the equation. So, but we really need to be the industry, which is who I represent as the World Nuclear Association, we really need to deliver. We cannot not start providing actual successful projects. We really need to start pointing out to see we've done it, it's there. We can do many more of this. We can do many more of this much faster. So now we really need to do it. Stop talking. So
I love that answer. Now, to switch things up a little bit, you were one of 7 founders of NAYGN, and this began as a nonprofit, similar to what Generation Atomic is now. I mean, from its very beginning stages. Right. Is that correct? Yeah, so we do international outreach. We have ambassador training programs, and of course we have things like our art contest. What is the role, do you think, that nuclear advocacy groups play in the progression of the industry?
Well, I think it's very important to have independent voices that are, as you say, you are doing this not because anybody's paying you, not because you are for profit, not because you are gaining anything. And so these grassroots initiatives, that there are people that do this because they truly, honestly believe that basically you cannot not do this, because we cannot miss this opportunity. And your work is essential. I mean, I truly think that obviously NAYGN, I think that through the last 2 decades plus has been doing a very excellent job, and voices like Generation Atomic, you have this creative, a little bit more quirky, a little bit more unique programs, which are perfect because they are grassroots. They are, I mean, you don't need to seek anybody's approval to do this or that. You can just make sure that you use your expertise in communications, your knowledge of the audiences that you are trying to reach, and just do it. And I think that you, among others, are being very successful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, you mentioned these non-traditional approaches that us and other nonprofits are taking to try and reach different demographics than nuclear traditionally has. Why is it so important for this younger generation to be involved?
Oh my gosh, this is so important. We really need to change completely the paradigm. So historically, so whenever I talk to an average person, typically they already know that nuclear is bad. So the conversation starts from minus a million, and then after talking, I can bring them perhaps to 0. And then is when we can start talking about the opportunities that nuclear brings.
Yeah.
So if you are reaching the younger generations, I mean, whether it is through educating the teachers, which I think is a very multiplicative effect, or talking to the younger generation themselves through social media and TikTok and all these things that you guys do so well, that's great, because then we are going to get all those young people at 0, or perhaps even at positive. Yeah. I mean, they are going to be able to make thought out decisions. They are going to have at their fingertips the information. They are going to be able to decide, okay, I've read this, I've read that, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. But so oh my gosh, the work that you are doing is essential. So please keep doing it.
That is so wonderful to hear, especially from you. Now, if you could tell those people who are afraid of nuclear anything, what would you say to them?
Afraid of nuclear? Oh my gosh. So, you know, there are so many things to be afraid. I mean, if we were to be afraid, I mean, we shouldn't get out of bed, really. I mean, exactly. The world is a very dangerous place. But I look at nuclear energy exactly as the opposite. It's a golden opportunity to actually provide abundant, affordable, 24/7 energy. And I say energy, not electricity.
Yeah.
All kinds of energy, the entire economy, to everybody, everywhere in the world. So to me, that should be scary. Scary how good of an opportunity that is. I mean, what is scary is to miss that opportunity. So we shouldn't do it.
Absolutely. And now finally, tell me, what's your favorite thing about nuclear?
My favorite thing about nuclear?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, I like everything about nuclear. I mean, this is one of those things that is always difficult when you try to define nuclear. It's like the affordable, 24/7, clean.
Yeah, you're like, how do I choose?
It's like And then again, and the other thing that I think is very important is the equitable, the fact that everybody's lifestyle is going to come to something better, something that is close to what you and I enjoy every day. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to pick one thing. I think it's all the above. Yeah,
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to agree with you there. Thank you so much for your time, Sama.
It's
It
my
was
pleasure.
lovely to meet you and talk to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this conference.
Thank you for the opportunity to chat with you, and good luck. Keep doing what you're doing, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.